DC defender. Anything comes out, like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, even Suicide Squad, he will defend it. He came out of Aquaman saying, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That really shocked me. So again, with Aquaman, I get what you're saying. It's one of the ones I'm going to wait for.
No, I understand why you're not going to go and watch it. But as for me, I walked into this going, it's not going to be accurate. It's going to mess these things up. Yeah. It was good. I enjoyed it. I walked away from it very, very happy.
Well, I'll tell you now, I watched a better movie than you this week.
Oh, I know you did.
I watched a better comic book movie than you this week. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This was great. Oh, this movie was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good from start to finish. I don't even know where to begin. Right, okay, so I'll get this out of the way early on. So, whenever I saw the trailers for this, the animation style really put me off.
You've been saying this the entire time.
And I was right in what I was saying to a degree, because I said there was something that looked off about it. It turns out that they have this weird kind of setup now where it's 12 frames per second instead of 24 frames per second, which results in this kind of weird, kind of jarring motion.
Right.
Which is something that I spotted from the trailer, so I was like, that doesn't look right. That looks like a mistake or something. Because technically, if you do something in 12 frames per second instead of 24, it will look weird, it'll look wrong. So it turns out what they've decided to do is they've CGI'd the movie, they've put comic book panels over that, and they have like these weird kind of like edges and lines and stuff. So it literally looks like a comic book has come to life.
Oh.
It's not your standard 3D animation fare. It's not like something like DreamWorks or Pixar would put together.
Yeah.
This is its own new animation style, to the point where Sony are trying to copyright this.
Oh, good luck with that.
But it goes out the window in the first 5 minutes. Like, honestly, once you sit and you watch this, 5 minutes go past, you'll forget the fact that it's got this jarring kind of weird animation to it, because it serves the story. Everything about this serves the story.
Oh, that's good to hear.
The action sequences are great with this animation style. They make them so much more fresh, so much more unique. You can tell what's going on because the frame rate's so low. The characters are all wonderful. There are twists in this. This is dark. This is a really dark movie.
I know you were saying
there are bits in this that if you have young kids and they're like, "Hey, Spider-Man, this is fun," and you just think, "Oh, it's a fun little cartoon." There are sort of dark moments. Do a bit of research online is what I'd say if you're going to take young kids to this, because some of the subject matter, it's not bad, but there is implied violence in this, and there is sort of like Infinity War, if you can imagine that. Like something fairly bad happens to a character that you would think, "Oh no, this character's fine." It's so good. So good.
It's been a while since I've seen you come out of something going, you have to watch it.
This is great.
Go watch it.
I can't wait for the Blu-ray, because there are so many little Easter eggs and little kind of special things in it. Because some of the people who worked on this was Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and they're the guys behind the Jump Street movies. They made the Lego movie.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're incredibly talented. They're incredibly funny people. The different kind of gags and jokes and pratfalls in this. Honestly, I've never heard Elizabeth laugh so hard. Because there's a scene where Miles first is discovering his powers, and like his hands are kind of sticky, and he ends up sticking to outside of the building. And it does that thing where it cuts to inside the classroom where the teacher's teaching away, and he like slams onto the wall, slams onto the window, but then slams away again before the class and the teacher can look. And then they go back to the lesson, and then he slams onto the other window. And it's so good. It's so naturally done. The jokes are so funny. And here's the weird thing about this movie. So Sony for years has had a major problem with making Spider-Man. With Spider-Man 3, they threw in too much. Too many villains, ruined it. Did the same thing with Amazing Spider-Man 2, ruined it. But recently Sony seemed to have got the head together now. Because what is so bizarre is that they threw everything into this movie. Everything. Everything that went wrong with their attempts to make Spider-Man before. They threw in too much, it didn't work. They doubled down on that for this movie. Everything's in this movie. And it works.
Yeah,
and I don't know how. It works. And it's brilliant. And every Spider character that they introduce in this, because it's part of the multiverse, so you have things like Spider-Woman in this, who is Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
You have different iterations of Peter Parker. You have Peter Porker, the Amazing Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
You have what is my all-time favorite Spider-Man character now is Spider-Noir, voiced by Nick Cage. Perfect. He is so good. Everything he says had me dying laughing. There's a bit in it where he's like, they're all sort of introduced in a really kind of quick way, and it's almost done as a throwaway joke. So the movie starts off with a Spider-Man comic book, and you have the voiceover. It's like, I'm Peter Parker. I'm the one and only Spider-Man. And like you see clips of him stopping the train, like in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
You see the scene where Doc Ock throws the car into the restaurant, and then this version of Spider-Man turns up and straight out punches the car back out the window again.
Oh, cool.
It's so great. Then when they introduce Spider-Gwen, they introduce Peter Parker and everything, they do the same thing that starts off with a comic book with them on it, and you get, like, within a minute, you have their entire backstory, why they are who they are, how they got their powers, who they lost in order to learn the with great power comes responsibility line. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is so good. But for Spider-Noir, his introduction, where you see the comic book slap onto the screen and Nicolas Cage's voice starts, it is quite possibly the greatest thing that's ever happened to my brain. Because it starts with him going, I'm Spider-Noir. I'm from the 30s, and everywhere I go, the wind follows me, and the wind smells like rain. Sometimes I'll light a match and let it burn down to my fingers just to feel something. And it's so weird. It's so weird. And the animation styles are all different for each character.
Yeah.
Like for Spider-Noir, he's like constantly he's in black and white, and he's confused by Rubik's Cubes because they have so much colour on them. Like Peter Porker, the Amazing Spider-Ham, is straight out of a Looney Tunes cartoon.
I've seen,
With the,
yeah.
like the way he like moves and stuff, and when he takes on the bad guys at the end, like he knocks one out, gets on Spider-Noir's shoulder, and blows them a raspberry.
Right.
And like he is introduced with the biggest non sequitur I have ever seen in a movie, where he walks up to them and his hands are dripping wet, and he goes, "My hands are wet because I went to the bathroom and I washed them, and that's all." How's that?
What?
And then there's a line he does say a Looney Tunes line at one point, and they break the fourth wall because he goes, "That's all, folks." And like Miles Morales turns to practically the camera, but he's talking to Spider-Gwen and goes, "Can he say that? Like legally, I mean?"
That's so cool.
It's.
I'm
really,
looking at, in all fairness, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
I can't say any more because I've spoiled enough as it is.
Yeah.
The way that the characters intertwine with one another, it's oh my god.
In fairness, I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen is great
because
in this.
I don't think she's ever appeared in the animated series.
hasn't.
Like, I think it's just the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first time I want to see what she's like fighting and battling, their personality.
She's great. She's great. She is one of the emotional cores of the movie.
Yeah, there's one other thing that kind of confused me. Was anytime I've seen like cosplayers or stuff like that, she was
It's
wearing
the green shoes.
ballet shoes
Yeah.
type thing. It was like,
No, she has those in the movie.
is there a story to that, or is it just
No, it's just what she
something
wears.
she wears? Yeah, because there's something going like that's a new thing now, or is that actually what they're meant to
No,
wear?
she wears green ballet shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this movie. Absolute 5 out of 5. It's phenomenal. It is so good. The next sort of movie on my hit list, I think is out tomorrow, is Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
It comes out tomorrow, so I'm going to see if me and Elizabeth can go see that some point over the weekend. You're more than happy to be invited if you want to come along, but I'm sure with your hectic schedule,
Oh
you'll
god.
have other plans in mind.
Trust me, Christmas is a mental time for me.
Yeah, it's weird that they're releasing this so close to Christmas, like 21st of December.
I really want to see it. I'm going to try my best to make sure that I have, I can get
Yeah,
there.
a few hours free.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go hang out, watch Robots in Disguise.
No, honestly,
this is getting rave reviews across the board.
honestly,
as well.
it will make me really happy. Now, it's something that's annoyed me from the other Transformer movies is when Optimus is talking about Cybertron. It's a very, very quick little clip. And then we see it come back in the third one. But I mean, like, I want to see Cybertron. I want to see the war. If it has like a whole segment, just a tiny bit of them fighting on Cybertron, or how they got to Earth, something like that.
Yeah.
That I'd be
Why
looking
do they
forward
have
to.
truck pieces on them when they're on Cybertron?
Yeah,
That was my one big question when I watched the cartoon.
yeah. Like, That's
like,
something.
You're on Cybertron. You've been to Earth before. Why do you look like you've got like truck wheels on your arms and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there?
But if they have something like that, I'd be happy. What I'm really, really happy to have is Starscream. Starscream is my favourite.
And he looks like Starscream from the cartoon as well.
I haven't seen Megatron. I know he's in it, but I haven't seen what he looks like.
Well, I didn't. # spoiler.
Did you?
What?
Have you seen it?
No.
No, but I am looking forward to seeing them all.
Yeah.
I'd be curious because I want to know if they're going to use the I know Starscream's in it. Shockwave. I've seen a clip. I've seen a picture of him.
Yeah, I've seen him
I
in
am
the trailer.
so happy for this. Like, I think I would love to see more of it, and I hope it's not just like a one-off movie and then they're going to leave it. I hope it continues.
I think this is the one that makes or breaks.
Oh, so this is basically
because after this they had like Transformers 6 lined up, they had like the Optimus Prime spin-off lined up and all this sort of thing. But after the last Transformers movie last night, that bombed at the box office.
They kind of went nuts.
They put everything on hold. They already had Bumblebee in production, so they're like, "We'll see how this goes, and if it tanks, bye Transformers."
Oh my god, really?
Yep. And if it does well, we'll make more.
Well, you said it's getting good reviews.
It is. The Following the Nerd review is super positive. All the reviews across the board. A lot of people are saying they're comparing it to E.T. They're saying it's like the first Transformers movie with Shia LaBeouf. It's that sequence, when he gets the car.
Yeah.
It's that, but an entire movie.
Oh.
So like they take their time with it to sort of go.
There's no rushing. It's
no.
It's
not like in the Michael Bay Transformers where it's like, oh my god, my car's a robot. Oh my god, everything's fine now. And then they made Optimus Prime and everything else, and then it all sort of goes on from there. With this one, this is more of a, oh my god, my car's a robot, and then they sit and explore that. And then they introduce the elements of the Cybertronian War and Optimus Prime and everything, and it slowly makes its way. And so the focus now isn't on Optimus and all the Transformers. The focus is on Bumblebee.
I like it. I'm liking that now.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it. I try.
A lot of people saying it's a lot like E.T. as well.
That's good. I loved E.T.
So it's basically about like
getting to know you.
A little person meeting a friend from outer space.
I'm liking that. I really like that because I like E.T. and I love Transformers, and if it's a nicely melded, together, happy days.
Well, it's like one of those little coming of age type drama things. It's the story's about friendship. It's about this sort of outcast girl meeting a robot that turns into a car. That's also an outcast as well. That old chestnut. So it is go time now. Yeah. It's time to wrap this show up. This has been the Following the Nerd Christmas special. Thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you to Andrew. Thank you to Tony for interacting with us here this evening as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Merry Christmas, everyone. That's simply all I can say. Have a good one this year. In the words of Greg Lake, another song that I didn't get to play tonight because, again, the last guy was on before I played it. I wish you a hopeful Christmas. I wish you a brave new year. Whatever it is you're doing to celebrate, do it with friends, do it with family. Enjoy it. Make it special. Don't be like us. Don't be old, miserable, broken people. Because when you're young, Christmas comes to you. But as you get older, you have to go in search of Christmas. Yeah. You got to find it. You got to keep it. You got to spread it around. So until this time next week, folks, because we're never off the air.
No.
Don't get a break. We're chained to this desk constantly. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you so much for watching. What am I doing? Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Merry Christmas. It's go time. I'm on the eggnog now. It's wild. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.